No dirty talk, just podcasts. No turn-ons, so turn me on. Bye.
You're listening to Don't Leave Me,
a podcast where two pretend adults chat about life.
You've come this far.
Now never leave. Oh, I did not enjoy doing that.
That was a little bit... It was a bit much. It was a little bit creepy.
Oh, no.
That was good for the spooky episode. Coming up.
Sick.
So this week we are talking all about technology, but more specifically, technology confessions. But we'll come back to that thread. So generally speaking, in terms of technology, positives and negatives, like how do you think technology has... What do you want to do first, positive or negative?
Well, I think if we go positive, because I have a lot of positives about technology. So me and my partner, we've been together 6 years now. But we did long distance for 3 years. We wouldn't have met.
3 years.
Yeah, that was shit. We wouldn't have met without like technology, social media. I wouldn't have been able to stay in contact. My life wouldn't be how it is now.
How weird is that?
Yeah, it's so weird. And then how it is now, my parents are in Newcastle, I'm in Glasgow.
So technology helps you.
Yeah, exactly. I can FaceTime my dog.
Aww.
You know, like...
Does he know what's going on when you FaceTime him?
Oh, he so knows that I'm there. He hears my voice, and like even like when I just call on the phone, he'll like put his paw up to the phone to say hello to me, and he knows I'm there. And it's just so nice. So I feel like technology on the whole kind of impacts me in a positive way.
Yeah.
But what about you?
I'm the same. Full disclosure, I was booked on a promotional campaign for 2 years for Google, so there's that.
Oh, I worked for Google!
So, however, I don't know, it's difficult because I love technology and I'm obsessed by it, but I can't not be Charlie Brooker about it a little bit.
See, I feel like if I go full Charlie Brooker,
You just won't
I
stop.
won't leave the house. I'll lock myself in my bathroom. I'll be like, I'll have a paper bag over my head. I'll be singing Jerusalem. I'll never come out.
No, don't get me wrong though. Like, I think on the whole, technology is wondrous, and even if you think in countries like India, for instance, where they've recently had smartphones have exploded over there, and like, you know, it's changing infrastructure and it's changed the way people communicate, and now even what you were saying there about relationships and stuff, and people using the internet to meet people and for activism and community, all that kind of stuff. It's amazing. But on the backside of that, I feel like the dark side of technology is pretty dark. For instance, jobs, the whole job market is changing because of technology, but also privacy, that's a concern for some people.
Well, I feel like if I'm being snooped on, like, why haven't they checked in on me? Like, I have really bad days, okay, and I don't get a text from, like, it's MI5 for us, isn't it? I don't get a text from MI5, like, you okay, hun? I just feel like if they are spying on me, they're really inconsiderate. And I'm not about that.
You just want someone to check in and make sure you're okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, I don't know. On the one side, the privacy thing does and doesn't bother me. I think that's part of having grown up in the Western world, is that we're aware that, we use Facebook. So in some respects, our privacy is compromised, as it were, because we're sharing our family photo albums with complete strangers that we met at work, and all that kind of stuff. But even one thing I would say on the positive negative thing, on the Charlie Brooker side of it, Black Mirror, for those who don't know who that is. Hashtag Black Mirror. I listened to a podcast, I can't even remember what one it was. I think it was a Guardian podcast the other day. Podcast. And they were talking about digital self and how... Oh yeah, it's because someone referred to themselves as like I think they said it's like cyborg activist or something like that. Because they said your privacy and your digital projection of yourself is you. So it should have rights. So it's not a case... So it's almost like the person that we put on the internet in essence, is a fully formed person. They have opinions, they have likes, they have dislikes. So why are they not granted the same rights always that we have in our everyday life? Like, you wouldn't expect someone to know where you are all the time at every moment. Do you know what I mean? So like,
no, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
it's a flawed argument, and I don't necessarily agree with it, but it's an interesting concept. And so, but at the same time, okay Google, and I love my PlayStation.
Yeah.
So there's positives and negatives.
I feel like going on the back of that. So me and Jamie recently had a conversation about the book 1984, and
where I forgot that it was like made in the 1920s or something.
Jamie mansplained 1984 to me and told me that it was published in 1982.
I don't know what. I know that's not the case, but yeah.
Oh, it fed my soul. But I confessed that I never finished it. And when you were like, "Oh my god, how have you not finished it? It's an amazing book," and I'm like,
"It's bleak."
Because we're living it.
Do you know what? Yeah, and I'm reading The Handmaid's Tale, and you're about to start it.
Yeah,
and it's that way where it's almost like in cycles. Like, we're kind of already living in 1984, and I'm reading The Handmaid's Tale, and I'm like, "Is this right now?" So yeah, it's like science fiction. That's actually why, side note, why I love science fiction, because it's like, it's so, and why people love Black Mirror, which is what I love about Black Mirror, is it's getting people into science fiction. Is that it's like different from our present, but not too different. So it still comments on our present. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like the tagline for Black Mirror should be my mum just saying, "It's because you're on that phone."
Yeah, it is a pretty bleak picture. But no, I love technology, and I can't imagine not having it. Like, with the whole Camp America thing, with me, with looking at what camp I was going to go to, having the internet and being able to access Twitter was a actual genuine concern.
But then on the flip side of that, being able to look at where you're going to be, as well.
Exactly. So
you're
it's
not
like a
going
double,
into the unknown.
Yeah. But similar to that, remember back in the day when you'd go visit someone with your parents, and then you would get a map out and you'd navigate the streets with a map. Like,
I'm going to make a very strong confession here. My dad still takes maps with him everywhere.
I'm taking one to Washington.
And
I can't
honestly,
wait. I'm going old school.
I remember, so me and my family go down, it was Newcastle to Land's End pretty much every year.
Wait, did he use it for driving? Don't tell me that. That will stress me out.
No, he gave it to my mother. Like, he wasn't sat with it on the wheel while he was driving. Like,
no.
Come on now.
Well, that would concern me even more if he's like trying to navigate an actual paper map whilst driving down the M80? M80?
Oh god, I don't know.
I don't
Jesus Christ. It's the M something.
A road. Anyway.
Yeah, so my mum would be sat with this book, and it was a book of maps. And my dad would be like, "Okay, so what road am I on now?" My mum's going, "I don't fucking know." Yeah. Like, I can't read a map. I have no idea how to read a map. I know how to use Google Maps because there's the little man on the screen, and you can put the voice on, and it goes, "In 10 yards, turn left." And I'm like, I can do that. I can turn left.
Yeah, because it's that way where I'm all like, "Oh, remember how awesome maps were?" And then I'm like, no, that was really annoying. I used up so much time.
No, I failed geography. Like, I cannot read a map. I thought East Anglia was abroad.
Oh, jeez.
I thought Argentina was next to Sweden.
So
I know now I'm wrong, but...
So in terms of changed behaviours, so in your life or in anyone you know's life, is there any behaviours that you think are so different now because of technology, apart from like navigation and stuff?
So I feel like you're in constant contact with people now. It's not like... So were you of the MSN age?
Yes.
Yeah, so you remember when you'd be like, "Right, be right back, oh, I've got to go."
No, I'd be the one that's furiously shaking the screen so that they would
You'd be sending the 10 nudges, like, pay attention to me. But you know, you'd say, "Be right back, oh, gotta go."
Yeah.
You don't say that in conversation now. The conversation is just ongoing,
Consistent.
Constantly. You can be gone for like a couple of days and then you're like, "Oh, anyways."
That's weird, actually. I've never thought about that before.
Yeah.
That's true. For me, the whole changing behaviours thing, I think, like for Facebook, which I don't actually even have the Facebook app, FYI.
Do you not have the Facebook app?
No.
I've got the Facebook app, I've got the Messenger app.
Because I realised that it was sitting on my phone and I don't use it, and then I was like, well, I am just giving them my privacy data for no reason now. Because I wasn't using it.
Don't make me freak out.
No, but if you use Facebook on a consistent basis, then it makes sense to have the app. But if you're not using it, like, what's the point? But family photos. if and when I have children, I am so not putting photos of my baby on Facebook. Because first of all, the internet is a dark place in some places. But also, like at Christmas time, we were talking about, like, just the good old days. And we ended up looking at family photo albums. And I just find it so odd the way that people share their lives, or a version of their lives they want to project online.
Okay.
And I do this as well, like through Instagram and stuff like that. You know, I don't post selfies of me, you know, with my hair like it is right now.
Jamie has a hat on. And he's just taking it off, and I am shook.
So yeah, I find that odd, and I think that's changed the way people. It's almost like when something happens, good or bad, people, the first thing they'll do is they'll take their camera phone out to take photos of it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And share it, which is good and bad.
I think on the flip side of that, so you can change your Facebook settings.
Yeah.
So if you were going to share family photos,
Oh, yeah.
only your friends can see it.
Yeah, that's true.
You can custom it so certain people won't see it as well.
Yeah.
So a good friend of Stuart's, I think their baby is either 2 or 3 now, and like I spend a good half hour of my life like looking at their Instagram stories at their beautiful child, and looking at it going, that's what I want. And it's really nice, and I know that's a projected version of their life because things have been really hard for them, and having a baby when you're our age, Jesus,
Yeah.
you know, and they've done amazing, and
But
I think it's something to be proud of.
I
and
suppose
show
though
off.
those photo albums, like the family photo albums, they're a projected version of your life as well.
Yeah.
Because you don't take photographs of your mum and dad having like a divorce.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So I suppose in some respect, family photo albums are kind of the same, just in a different context. In the notes for today's episode, it says ruin Kizzy's life, but I can't remember why I was ruining your life. Oh, tweeting.
Oh no. I
Right.
remember why you were ruining my life.
So we were talking about communication and Twitter in particular.
I'm sad already.
And Kizzy tweeted... Who was it you tweeted again?
It was Mark Hamill. If people don't know who Mark Hamill is, that is Luke Skywalker from the little-known film series Star Wars. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Is it an independent film? I don't know if I know it.
Yeah, it's really small, you know. He also voices the Joker, and he's an all-round good guy.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Absolute angel babe, and I really look up to him. I'm just going to shuffle about because my foot's gone to sleep.
Oh no.
While I'm doing that, Jamie, fill something.
Lay the legs out flat. Like
Oh, that was disastrous.
that. Oh.
Anyways, yeah, so I follow Mark Hamill on Twitter, and he says some really amazing things.
Yeah, he's super inspirational.
Yeah.
And he's quite honest as well.
Absolutely. And I was walking to work, and I read something he said, and I was just like, oh, that's so nice. And I tweeted saying, at Mark Hamill, I think what's his Twitter handle? It's not Mark Hamill, but it's Hamill himself, I think. So I was like, at Hamill himself is a literal angel. And within 10 seconds, he'd liked it. And I was walking to work, and I sobbed. I was just like, oh my God, one of my childhood heroes has noticed me. And I was crying for like a good 10 minutes. And
then me being Mr. Digital Marketing was like, oh, I wonder if that was just like, I don't know, like an automated system that they've got set up, and then Kizzy's face dropped and I ruined her life. I mean, it's a possibility, but it's not, you know, still embrace the moment.
But now I can't, because what if it isn't real?
Or maybe it was his publicist.
That's worse.
But I can simultaneously ruin my life as well, because like I've
ruin
had
your own life also.
Tom Lenk and Amber Benson from Buffy, they've interacted with me before on Twitter. Marie and the Diamonds as well. Although that was actually her tweeting me for
Shut
that.
up, Jamie. Shut up.
So like me and Marie and the Diamonds are like best friends. We're like hickey friends. I don't know if you
I'm
know
not
that.
speaking to you.
I'm sorry.
No.
So technology. So technology confessions. Before you go on in the notes it says crash towards the ending.
Crash.
So, so before we become the saviors of your universe,
That was amazing.
give us a confession. Give us a technology confession about something weird that you do with technology. That sounds like inappropriate.
My weird thing that I do with technology is I get really annoyed when people ignore me on social media, so I can see that they've read the message, or if they're online and they don't respond to me. But then I do the exact same thing because I don't want to talk to people, and I just expect people to be okay with that.
I mean, we have all been there, in fairness.
I just feel really bad because some people, like, it's not that I don't want to deal with them, it's I don't want to deal with them right that second, and then I forget. And then it's a week later and I'm like, oh, hi, sorry.
It's funny, I usually message people and then forget I've even messaged them. So when I get the message back, I'm like, oh.
You do that to me all the time.
Do I actually?
Yes.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry. Well, we know what my my confession is. What's my confession? The one I feel quite bad about is the scrolling thing. I feel like I should have a cat. Because I should just pet the cat. Because sometimes I find myself, and I cannot be the only person that does this, but I sometimes find myself aimlessly scrolling through Twitter or Instagram, more usually Twitter, and I'm not really reading it or taking any of it in. Mm-hmm. And then so I'll simultaneously not be paying attention to Twitter as I'm scrolling through it on my phone, and also not paying attention to the TV or podcast it's playing. And I feel it's very odd. I feel that there's like psychology behind the design of smartphones and the fact they are a touchscreen interface. I'm sure it's because we need to do that comforting swiping motion, like we're petting an animal or reassuring ourselves.
I just feel like they're there.
Yeah, they're there. My digital self who lives online in the Matrix.
Oh, I don't. This is like White Christmas levels of weird now.
So speaking of white levels, let's not go that route. It's taking a turn. So there's a new Amazon store that's a thing now, which does sound like something from Black Mirror.
This has really weirded me out coming from someone that has worked a lot of retail.
Same. Especially, have you worked in a supermarket?
Yeah, my first job was a quite high-end supermarket. Other supermarkets are available. It was Sparks and Mensa's.
Oh, not Waitrose.
No.
Oh, okay. No. I worked in
That's not a thing anymore. Like Morrison's. In the UK, you can say it.
Is that how it works?
Yes.
Is that what they would do in the BBC?
Oh, you do it like so.
Others are available.
Yes, absolutely. Other supermarkets are available.
And they are. So there you go. We've both worked in a supermarket. So Amazon have announced this thing called Amazon Go, which has been on in production for a wee while now. Basically, they're launching this Amazon store. It's their first brick and mortar convenience store, which is open in Seattle. And basically, how it works is you walk up to the store with your phone and you swipe in with the little barcode, and then you just wander around the store picking up items and then putting them into your bag, and then you just walk out. So it's like taking away the self-service checkouts, because you're not self-serving, you're just going in and removing items from the wall. And how it works, apparently, is that the items themselves have barcodes all over them, and I think the shelves have weights. I read somewhere about weights as well or something like that. And so it basically tallies it up as you go, and then when you leave the store, your Amazon account just gets billed for the bill.
See, like, even the one-click payment on Amazon freaks me out. So, my good friend Vicky is an author. She's just released her book. I'm going to plug her now. She has just released the second book in the Keswick Chronicles series called Take It. So I bought that on the day it came out. $1.49. It's not a lot.
Go buy it. Can you get it if you have Amazon Prime? Like, can you get it as one of your free
I think
books?
You can get it as Kindle Unlimited. I know. So I bought that and I just clicked buy. And it was just add to basket, buy, and then it just refreshed the page and went, oh, you've bought it. I didn't put any card details in or anything, and I had to put my phone down for 10 minutes and walk away because I freaked out.
So do you think you could deal with that store?
No. I would be like, where are the people? As much as I like to go to self-service checkouts and not speak to anyone and keep my headphones in.
Same.
And like not deal with that. From someone that's worked in retail, that freaks me out a bit because what's going to happen to all them?
Yeah, that there lies the issue. And it's like, these innovations are great, but the trouble is that the innovations happen and then society has to catch up. But society involves people with jobs. So, and even with things like how Paisley used to be, Paisley is like a town in Scotland. We're in Scotland, by the way. FYI. Welcome. And then they opened a big shopping centre off a motorway. And I'm sure this happens all around the world. And then the towns local to that just really died basically, and the businesses moved out. And in some ways that kind of happens with like online business as well. Like a lot of because people are flooding online to buy things that's affecting jobs and businesses in the real world as well.
Well, what really kind of struck me this Christmas period, so Lush, the cosmetics company, decided that they were going to keep I love Lush so much. I'm not Constantine, if you're listening, I love you.
We also enjoy the Body Shop.
Jamie enjoys
I enjoy the Body Shop.
Thank you. So they decided to keep their sales in store instead of doing a sale online.
Interesting.
And the amount of backlash from that was ridiculous. It's like no matter what we do, people are going to be unhappy.
Yeah.
And as much as people are like, oh, save the high street, it's only when it's convenient to us.
Exactly. So I don't know. So I feel like we've been really down on technology for this episode, which is weird considering we're both people that use technology all the time.
Absolutely.
And are gamers. But I think it's because we're both aware.
Yeah.
Of
Self-aware.
Yeah, self-aware, but also aware of society in general. So in the notes it says here, crash towards the ending. So,
I'm going to crash towards the ending. I've seen iRobot. I know how it ends. We're going to be taken over by the robots voiced by Alan Tudyk of Firefly fame, and the world's going to end.
What happens if one day you go, hey Alexa, or how do you, yeah, it's just the name Alexa.
You just go, Alexa.
Alexa. Yeah. What happens if one day you go, Alexa, turn my lights on, and she just one day goes, no.
Oh no, I am never buying an Alexa. That terrifies me. I did get my Google Assistant to say yes, Queen.
Yes, you did.
Yes, that was amazing.
That's how we should end the thing as well.
Let me do it.
And whilst you do that, I'm just thinking, see how we live in a world of disinformation.
Oh no, that's recording you speak.
Imagine how mad this would be, right? If you... It would never happen because these companies have such high security, but like imagine you said okay Google or hey Alexa or hey Apple or what is that Apple one? Siri. You just go,
is it Siri?
Hey Siri? Hey Siri, yeah. Imagine you did it and then it just gave you the wrong answer. Or an answer with a agenda.
Fake news.
Imagine that. Black Mirror.
I don't like it.
Charlie Brooker, don't steal that idea.
I love Charlie Brooker. Shout out to Connie also. She did Blue Peter and she wrote one of the episodes apparently.
Did she?
Well, Fraser was saying...
Context, they're married.
Yes, they are married.
With children as well.
I think of baby.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, but to end the episode, let's...
Okay. Yes, Queen.
Yes, Queen.
That's amazing.
Other voice assistants are available.
So there we go.
Okay.
So that was a strange episode. A dark episode. I think it was interesting though.
I mean, I just waffled on, I don't know.
I had a great time.
I had a great time too. Let's do this again sometime, Jamie.
Maybe next week.
Or
whatever the upload schedule is.
You're choosing that.
So as ever, please remember to follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
So you can follow me at Kizzy Blackburn.
And you can follow me at It's Jamie Sparks.
Remember to also subscribe to us via Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Cast app, and Google Play Music.
And also, don't forget to rate and share the podcast, not just because it's like polite, but also because it actually helps people find us. And whilst we are both enjoying talking to each other, it would be nice to have people listen to us. Also, if you have listened, tweet at us and say hello.
Yeah, that would be nice. Write me a letter.
Okay, let's not keep going. Maybe we'll start a fan club. Cool.
We'll get badges. Okay, bye. Never leave me.
Never leave me.
That was so creepy.
Hey, thank you for listening. The Don't Date Me podcast is created by Jamie Sparks Productions. If you enjoyed it, follow our show and rate it 5 stars on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening.
You can rate us each time you listen to an episode. Pure do it, as it helps people find our show. Keep in touch by dropping us an email at don'tdatemepod@itsjamiesparks.com and follow us on Twitter or Instagram at don'tdatemepod. If you love what we're doing, please consider donating to UNICEF to aid the people of Ukraine. Recently, our listeners raised £410 after gift matching. You can find the link in the show notes. See you on the next episode.
Hi, Sid.
Oh, hey, Sid.